Always with the internet not wanting to work. Okay, so maybe you're over 40, maybe you're not over 40, but I want to put this out there. 4 things every woman over 40 needs to know about losing weight when it comes to weight loss. So there's some interesting things that happen when you turn 40, and some of us go through certain things and some of us don't. I think the hardest thing for me was when you fill out a form and it asks your age, you got to check that next box. And because I'm now 45, I have to check the box after that. It's life. You know what? I could freak out about it, or I could be like, hey, you know what? Age is just a number. But I want to talk about these things that after we hit 40, maybe need a tweak or two based on things maybe we've done in the past to lose weight or slim down. It feels like when you hit 40, it's an uphill battle when it comes to weight loss. Maybe you're not struggling with it. Maybe you've never struggled with it, but maybe you have. And we get to this point where it's like, well, these diets that we used to do, they worked in the past, and they are no longer working. Sometimes old ways do not open new doors. And when we have to check that box of being over 40 or over 45 or over 50, there's some things that have changed from when we were in our 20s and early 30s and before we had, a couple of kids here or there. Some hormonal things happen, some things go on with our metabolism. We're noticing maybe we have some belly fat or some chin hairs, like whatever, But what we notice is that it is harder to lose weight. And yet, majority of us try to do the same freaking things that we did in our 20s and our 30s and to get the pre-baby body back. I hate that term, I really do. I grew 3 children in my body. Things are going to change. It took a while to accept that. And I'm finally at the point where I can no longer use I had 3 kids as an excuse or a reason to lean out or go on a diet. I can use those as a reason for other things, but I'm not going to use them as a reason to say like, okay, I need to go on another diet. I'm just going to tell you that once you hit 40, your weight loss battle, struggle, journey, whatever you want to call it, may require a new approach or maybe some tweaks. So what I'm going to talk about is 4 things, and hopefully during those 4 things, I cannot promise that maybe 27 other things will come out. Because I feel like these are the 4 most important things that maybe need to be tweaked as we hit that 40 mark and we have to check that box because when we are in our 20s, or if we're following someone on social media that's in their 20s or 30s and they're posting these things and it's like, I need to be like them. No. You need to be like you're 40. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It's almost like, here's where we're at, embrace it, and accept it. If you can do that, these 4 steps are going to be so easy. All right, so here's one. Shocker, sleep. Dude, why do we wear lack of sleep as a freaking badge of honor? We wear that and stress as the hugest badge of honor, when really, if you would work on that and getting better sleep and working on how to manage your stress. I know we're in stressful times right now. I know we are. Which is actually why I offered my project Self-Love at such a cheap price. I will post a link for that. But stress and sleep, first of all, your body goes through so much stress if you are not sleeping. If you are not recharging yourself at the end of the day, you're going to mess up your hormones even more. Like, we're going through hormonal things in our 40s, aren't we? Your metabolism is going to do some things. Your insulin resistance, it's going to increase. Storage of belly fat, those kind of things are so easily manageable. Is that the wording I should be using? If we're sleeping. Find out how much sleep you get tonight. And I want you to try to add an hour more tomorrow night. You can do it. I promise you can, because I came from a place of not being able to sleep, of telling my husband, if I fall asleep on the couch, please leave me here. Don't even try to wake me up, because it was that bad. The broken sleep, all that kind of stuff was absolutely insane. So when you're lacking sleep, you're messing with your hormones. You're messing with your hunger hormones. You are messing with your insulin resistance, and you're causing yourself to store fat, making it that much harder in our 40s to lose it. So that's the first tip. Oh, here's one, another shocker. I know, again, remember I said, when we were younger, these things may not have been that much of an issue, but now they are. Ladies, if I can tell you something, it is to take that cardio queen crown off your head and set it down. There's nothing wrong with doing cardio. It's movement. It's good for your blood flow. It's good for your heart. But you need to start lifting some heavy shit. Yes, start lifting weights, because here's two things, maybe I'm going to roll out three, I don't know, but two right off the top of my head that I'm going to tell you they do. They help with your bone density, right? Very good. The more muscle you have, the more fat you burn, the better your metabolism works. If you'll do this next step, and I'll get to that next step after this. You will not bulk up. I promise you. I have been lifting weights for I don't know how many years, and I have yet to bulk up. I don't know if there's enough testosterone inside of us to do that. There are other things that need to be done in order to bulk up from lifting weights. Get some muscle. Get some muscle, okay? First of all, it's going to help hold yourself up as you then have to check the box for 50, 55, 60, all those things. Don't tell me you're too old. I had a woman, 82 years old. I believe now she's 83. She could be older than that. I may have missed a few of her birthdays. She comes to my classes. Please don't tell me you're too old. You are never too old. Okay, that's an excuse. Lift some weights. Here's what happens. Yes, I have me a little tracker. Stop obsessing over getting in your steps. Because guess what? Your steps are going to tell you that you burned X amount of calories on that treadmill. And you're like, yes. But when I lift weights, it doesn't show that I burned that many calories. Certainly. But there's something that happens after that. So just know that even if you're not burning the calories, first of all, get rid of that. Just get rid of that. Go. Get out of there. We're in our 40s. We're not going to worry about that anymore. We're going to worry about being healthy, being strong from the inside, and keeping ourselves able to do daily activities. I know we're only in our 40s, but guess what? If we don't start it now, or if we don't continue on the right path, it's going to hurt a lot later. It's going to harm us. So when you have lifted weights, there's like an afterburn that goes on, because your body needs to repair the muscle and all these things. Like, I can go into all that, but let me just tell you that long-term effects of weightlifting are better for you than being on the treadmill for 47 hours in one day. Just saying, okay? All right, next. So remember when I said the more muscle you have, your metabolism will be better, it will be higher. You need to eat. Okay, that's my next step. You need to eat. I don't know where in our 20s or in our 30s that we were like, we're just not going to eat anything. We're going to go on a 1,200 calorie diet. If you're doing that in your 20s, please don't. Don't do that. Here's what happens when we're not eating the right stuff, we're not eating enough, and we're going on these yo-yo diets. You have screwed up your metabolism and your hormones more, and the insides of you, more than you can even imagine. How do I know this? Ask me another time. I'm only doing these tips right now, okay? That's how I know this. Okay, eating protein, fruits, good fats, vegetables, leafy greens. Do you know that all these nutrients, fiber, all these things, they help with your hormones? Right? Not the processed shit. Please don't. Limit that. I'm not going to tell you, don't ever eat it because it's a bad food, because I hate that stuff. But eat these things. Fuel your body properly. Get the right nutrients. Because as we grow older, we need them more. I don't know how it was we used to be able to survive on fruit snacks and Burger King fries with barbecue sauce. That is kind of like what I lived on in high school. Right? And probably maybe some alcohol. I don't know. I'm not going to, deny that. But seriously, we can't survive on that stuff at this age. It just doesn't work. It stresses too much. It adds up over time. So if you're in your 20s and you're like, I'm lifting weights. I drink all weekend. I eat good during the week. I eat clean. I measure my shit. I do this. Hey, don't set yourself up for failure. Start on the right path now, so you're not like us 40-year-olds who are like, why the hell can't we lose weight? So, sleep, lift some heavy stuff, eat, okay? Ready for this one? Because remember, it worked for us in our 20s. Maybe it never worked for you in your 20s. Maybe we thought it did. You should know where I'm going if you follow me. Avoid the quick fix, bullshit, lying ass diets. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I swear too much? I don't care anymore. I really don't. Stop. Stop with the quick fixes. I should have started that one in the beginning, but I just didn't want to disappoint, right? Because you know where I'm at. You know I hate diets. These quick fixes, ditch the diets because you can't win with them. You can't. You can ask me how I know another time because I'm not going to go into it. But you cannot win at them, especially when we've been doing them over and over and over again. Like, you know how many people I talk to who are like, yeah, it worked for me, 5-6 years ago, but it just doesn't work for me now. Man, do we set ourselves up for failure? And it's not us failing, it's the diets failing us. So stop with the quick fixes. So here's my 4 tips. I'm going to add a bonus one here. I promise I will. Make sure you're getting the right amount of sleep. Start lifting some heavy weights. And by heavy, that's what you consider heavy. If 5 pounds is heavy to you, 5 pounds is heavy. When I first started lifting weights, 3 and 5 pounds were heavy. I can tell you that I don't lift 1,000,000 pounds. I can tell you that a 20-pound dumbbell is heavy for me with certain things. I can tell you that a 15-pound dumbbell is heavy for me with certain things. You define what heavy is. Don't compare yourself with that part, okay? Just lift some weights. Develop some muscle. Do some strength training. Eat. Make sure you're getting the protein. Make sure you're getting the healthy fats, the fruits, the vegetables. Certainly, in moderation. I don't want you to not enjoy your life and say like, oh my God, I have to eat just hormone balancing foods. I have to add flaxseed to all my stuff. I have to just eat leafy greens. No. Majority of us don't even put these in our diets on a daily basis. We don't eat this stuff. I promise you, we don't, okay? Put it in there. Find ways. You don't like it? Find a way. I'm sure to the point, I'm going to tell it like it is, okay? And avoid the quick fixes. Now, here is my bonus tip. Tip number 5 is find the support. Find someone who's been where you're at. Find someone who's made it through that struggle. Not someone who just shows a picture that you want to look like. Not someone who is trying to sell you on something. Find someone who's been there. Find someone that can motivate you, lift you up when you're like, oh my gosh, I hit a plateau again, or oh my gosh, I just can't get rid of this weight. Find someone that will help you through that. Whoever it is, find someone, right? You can succeed, I promise you, okay? Persistence and understanding that we're not in our 20s anymore. And guess what? That's probably a good thing. I'm not saying anything's wrong with being in your 20s, but that's probably a good thing because, like, we are mature now, right? Mature. We have matured. When we get up in this age and we check that box of 40, 45, like when we're checking those boxes, it's about health. It is not about a number on a scale anymore. It is not about restricting. It is about living your freaking life and staying the course. Because it's not a 30, a 60, a 90-day approach anymore. And actually, it never really should be, right? I love challenges. I love to, be a little bit stronger than I was the day before. But I'm not comparing myself to anybody anymore. And that's what we need to stop doing. Those are my 4 tips that every woman who is over 40 needs to know about losing weight. If you know someone who's over 40 and you're like, they need to hear this, you go share it with them. Click the link, share it, whatever you need to do, because I feel like the more we can get this out there, the more that we can accept that it's okay to be 40, that it's okay not to be able to see the same results that we saw before, that it's okay to have a little fluff in other places that we never had it before. We have to embrace our 40s, our 50s, our 60s. Look, my grandma made it to 95 and a half. I'm going to 96. That's it. I'm going to 96, and I'm not going to get there by starving myself, by treating myself like I'm 20 years old. It's not going to work that way. We change. Our bodies change. It's okay. if you don't fit into the same pants you did when you're 20. It's okay if you are not the same weight that your license says. Embrace who you are right now. Embrace your age. Embrace your wrinkles. Embrace whatever the hell it is that you're like, I hate this about me. Turn it around. Turn it around and understand that it's okay to be that age. It's okay to have these struggles. So take these 4 tips and use them to your advantage. I'll catch you guys next time.